Good evening from the Hostage Diaries. Holiday season, but for me, it's just another day of misery. Sitting around in the garage as a hostage, waiting here, waiting. That's the waiting room, the reverent waiting room. To anybody that ever had to wait for my masses, I paid for you. That's good enough. Waiting until I'm insignificant. Diluting the effect. Well, it was like actually one of the better jobs I ever had. All the terrible. I had the worst jobs ever. That's how you handicap, destroy somebody. You want to destroy somebody? Yeah, well, obviously. I was a known commodity since way back when. You bet your life, Groucho. Night in Casablanca, Bogart. So I had this job in New Berlin, Wisconsin, working for a company, and they had this guy. It was a promotions company. I did one for. Used to drive around the country in this big old Winnebago with a big bullseye on the side of it. Obviously, that's how I look. Everybody was trying to shoot and spear and stab, and they did. I mean, when that's why. See, you got to make it an easy, like shooting a broadside of a barn. Anybody can hit it because you got, the Louisiana Xanax, you got to make people feel good about themselves and, for your slave. That's what a slave's good for. A holy slave. So they used to have this guy. It was this old man on a skateboard. I remember clearly, right next to I was working the Oscar Mayer hot dog mobile. I think I did a Jim Beam campaign. It was one of the better jobs I had, I must admit, even though all the jobs I had were terrible. But it just, Johnsonville Bratwurst, that whole mentality. But what's the connection between? I've got a sister Callie and Newt Gingrich's wife Callista, who's from Wisconsin. There's got to be some symbiote. That's got to be going out. They got to protect the coca. See, they're good. They know they were gonna fuck me royally. They were gonna fucking massacre me. So they needed insurance to protect because of the Coca-Cola the trade secrets of the Coca-Cola. Is that what it is? I wish I would have I used to drink a lot of Coke. Worst investment ever. Ever. I would never, literally, worst investment ever. I'll be honest with you. Ever. Ever. Without a doubt. So, today I'm going to discuss on the Armageddon. Oh, today is the end of the world. But what really happened, and this used to go back, the movie Armageddon, where they had this big asteroid coming at the planet. Well, what happened was they decided we're going to let the asteroid hit because they wanted the party. When an asteroid hits, it's Walking Dead zombie party. Nuclear winter ski party, at the Grand Marnier Palace. On my account, of course, saddled on me while I sit out in the garage and wait until I'm no longer significant. Mississippi River, a missed opportunity, wasted beyond all. We're talking about the biggest waste ever. That's how fucking fat these pigs are, and I make them pretty. That's why they are so, the world pays. They're so goddamn VIP special. So the Armageddon drillers, the Affleck and the Die Hard and all of that group, what they decided to do, we're going to blow up Mars. Mars is, they want to be some cop killers because they want the idols, they want the games, they want the free love. Let's change the world. Let's get rid of Mars. Well, there's also men are from Mars, women are from Venus. There it goes again, the JV castration. And he happened to be from James Gray was his name, I think. He was from Houston, of all places. The drillers. Well, you got to figure, this is all about energy, oil. And I just happen to be I'm like the miracle wild card. Anytime, anything, it's the Goodwill Hunting, easy math. It's magic. Ooh, trade secret magic. We're not going to tell you how. It's called misspelling. They make shit up. It's like 1 + 1 = 1,000,000. And we'll just make that one the Jesus one, or Miracle, St. Louis Cathedral one. That solves it. 1 + 1 = 1,000,000. So we get paid $1,000,000. Magic. Yeah, that's the kind of miracle math that goes on here. So they blew up. They had it goes back to the desecration, to bury the source, to beautify the clones because they're so proud, with their scalped fairways by Reese Jones and Robert Trent Jones. And so they got the scalp. They're so proud. The hair transplant there. So they basically drilled in. They let the asteroid hit, and they decided to spin doctor where they blew up Mars. Rather than building a bridge to Europe, we're gonna go to war because we're that. So what did they do? They started producing a ton more clones. That's what it's all about. A ton more clones. Well, another thing that I'm wondering about is well, it's this thing that it goes back to the Mississippi Madonna misspelling. Right. Does that give it the right? Plus, you get into the pharmaceutical and chemistry game where only doctors can do it, but doctors obviously, well, the pharmaceutical companies can do it, but there's all sorts. That's where you get into the Louisiana, Kalamazoo River, Battle Creek. Yeah, it doesn't make up, John. This doesn't make any sense. There's too much crazy. 80% of the painkillers that are taken in the world are taken in the USA. What does that tell you? 80%. That tells you right there. Something's really screwy about the mentality of all 80% of the painkillers are taken in the US. So it goes back to this misinterpretation. My name is spelled M-A-R-X, but hey, Mississippi Madonna Pharmaceutical authorized M-A-R-K-S. So what happened was, it's like a permanent mark on your record that'll haunt you forever. Well, what they did was they decided we're going to make this an easy broadside of the barn chump to shoot at, to kill. So my entire life it was like, and I admit I had really bad ADHD. Things just melted away just like that. I mean, I'd have a thought gone. I'd be bouncing off the walls constantly. I had no memory. That's why I never did good in school because I couldn't pay attention to memorize it long enough. I couldn't pay attention long enough to memorize it. So I was easily influenced. I mean, literally anything. It didn't take long to justify something, and nothing seemed correct. And there was even a study recently how this is an example about how ADHD people who were treated for ADHD, it lowered the percentages of rates of crimes they committed. I was a bit of a wild child. I used to run around, do all sorts of crazy stuff. Animal House or the dazed and confused mentality. So what happened was, though, the perpetual marks. It was like, okay, I did stupid stuff, and I followed the leader because I was never I should have been a leader, being Louis in Louisiana, but no, they wanted to hammer me down, Well, it's because my mother was from Mississippi. See, I was inflicted to the mob mentality. I was unaware that I was important, so they screwed me up self-esteem wise. I was exposed. I was that broadside of the barn. Anybody wants to come up and shoot or spear me, no problem. So the perpetual marks thing seems to be that anything that it's like one time, it was a joke. I was kind of a jokester my entire life. I wrote a paper on the bridges at Tokyo-ri about the North Koreans, Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un. Well, it was about blowing up bridges. And so what's happened is every bridge in my life has been blown up. Literally, everything. On Gilligan's Castaway, Tom Hanks Castaway, FedEx, Deliverance, squeal like a pig, boy! That Castaway Island. They blew up every bridge because being on the nickel penny leash that I'm on, the JC, Jesus Christ penny leash, there's nothing I can do. You can buy anything in this world, but that's too easy. We're going to make it hard, right? You got to figure it out on your own while you're paying billions of dollars for the game. See, what it's all about is I'm stuck playing the game because I pay the game, but I get nothing. I I pay the most and get the worst. That's what I pay the most and get the least. Just about. No, I'm not saying that. I know. I apologize to all those oppressed people out there because I seem like a bit of a bitch. But hey, I tried to help you. You know, I come up with plans to try to fix a lot of the problems. But now I got to sit here and be a beautician in my garage at the Beau Rivage MGM special Louis B. Mayer marks. Sure, that cost me a whole bit of hell there. So, well, that goes back to the four corners, obviously. And, so the beautician, so the marks that are placed on me, I got once, I don't know, I was a spaz, like I said. I was doing crazy stuff. I was bouncing off the wall, spasmodic. I got caught flipping off a teacher in like 5th grade behind her back, and somebody walked up behind me, a teacher did, and I got a major DC, it was called, disciplinary conduct, at St. Thomas More Elementary School. And they sent me to the office, and I had to call my parents and all that stuff. I felt bad, but hey, I was just being, stupid kid. So that, and I got in trouble for writing on the board, I pee freely. Oh, the yellow ribbon, it was a joke. It was the whole Mad Libs thing. There were all these things like the Bart Simpson writing on the board. Hey, well, that's, I'm still paying for that. Yellow River by I pee freely. And I had no idea. It went back to Kiss, Ace Frehley. I was a Kiss fan back in the day. And so, another, just DC, I don't think if that was a major DC, but it was a mark. So therefore, because I flipped the bird, did that give me the full moon fever for life? I don't know. It obviously seems like that because I was basically ignored. I mean, yeah, I was relegated to a way back status, or I'm just wondering. That goes back to the Mississippi misspelling mentality, where it's crazy, literally crazy, just insane, stupid. So then we get into the trademarks. Oh yeah, what is that all about? And what are we providing here? And then see the TS. There's something called trade secrets. Obviously, they're hiding something. And long ago I said something about the Hebrew National Hot Dogs, Conagra, Omaha, Nebraska, there, Cornhusker country, Oracle country. And I have nothing against business. The problem is, am I kidnapped? Is my family kidnapped to turn the Hebrew Nationals into a bunch of hot dogs by brainwashing and steering them into a slaughterhouse? Is that true? I want an audit. And I don't care about trade secrets. We're talking about slavery and embezzlement and bank robbery and forgery. That ought to supersede this trade secret bullshit. I know. The Coke trade secrets is obviously a big one. I have a feeling that goes back into the Sugar Bowl. I have a big feeling that has to do with the mouth of the Mississippi River. And I mean, I've literally been in Georgia for 2 years and done nothing. Absolutely, I've done zero. Coke zero. Nothing. Sat in this garage and I'm getting a. See, it's all about the leftovers to prove that the VIPs are so. I got screwed by Baton Rouge, then so bad, then nobody else wanted me because I was damaged goods. Prince Charming been screwed so bad I was damaged goods. So then they just turned their back on me and gave me the full moon fever, so I was damaged goods. So now it's like, well, we're just gonna wait until you lose all your power. We're gonna dilute you down to nothing, and then I don't think they could ever set me free. I mean, they have screwed me so bad. I don't know if they can ever get me free. Is that trademark trade secrets? And like I said, I don't really give a fuck about patents. I don't give a fuck about trademarks. I don't give a fuck about trade secrets. I don't give a fuck about royalty free. If slavery is involved, I don't give a fuck about Louisiana natural resources. You can all go fuck yourself for all I care. I wouldn't pay. That is, I want an audit. I want to audit every trademark that has anything to do with my family, my blood family. I want it on paper, and I would like to bring it in front of Congress. Or actually, I don't trust Congress. I would rather, I've called for a United Nations trial because we're talking about international money. We're talking about international money dealing with Latin America and Europe. And you look at the global economy, is that to protect your precious trademarks? Is that your Hebrew national hot dogs? You know, like I said, I really don't give a fuck about your drug addiction. You're a fucking bunch of drug addicted junkies. Hey, they're legal drugs, but because you got some pimp doctors. But hey, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't care about your freedom of religion. You know, I don't really care. It's not my concern. My concern is closing the fucking door because you are obviously not strong enough, smart enough, or responsible enough to handle this sort of power or authority. Whoever's been driving has done a terrible, terrible job. I have been blind. My family's been blind and when we're talking about billions and billions of dollars dealing with on a $1,000 leash to be handicapped because of your bullshit golf mentality, like I said, that's criminal. There is some serious criminal intent. It's the whole Scrooge manipulation and it is. It's Scrooge. How far can we screw it? You know, just to prove. It's how far can we Jew it down, you know, to the limbo down to that. That's what the whole mentality is. How extreme couponing, hardcore pawn, you know, these stupid fucking Chester the Cheeto games that I am a hostage because you're a bunch of deadbeat bums because you can't pay. So you got to use hostages, stolen wallets. That's the truth of the matter is you're a bunch of deadbeat bums who use the stolen wallet. You're not good for your debt, so you have to keep hostages. And I don't really care. You're a bad investment in my estimation because you're crazy, crazy stupid. So, like I said, I don't really give a fuck. And then this whole playing dumb. I mean, it's a full moon fever, you know, run and hide. You know, that's the bell for Jekyll and Hyde, where they stole my wallet. Well, what happened was they stabbed me and speared me and shot me and cut me up and macheted me until I was 100% giving away everything. You know, the big chump, giving away everything, bled to death. So then everybody now, you've already stole my wallet, so you printed a whole bunch of forgery credit cards that you're no good for. See, you're afraid of margin call. Margin call terrifies you. Margin call is like the lights coming on. Who's got the bill? Yeah, the hostage over there in the garage, he's paying. It's on me, right? You fucking bums. Yeah, that's what this is all about. Is saddled on me. The bill's on me. Right? That's what it's all about. Nothing more. The miracle magic, you know? Because you were so proud. You wanted to be independent, proud. It's just crazy. I mean, and this mentality of being cats, always landing on your feet. I mean, for Christ. So I always fall. I always fall in order to be the beautician to the fucking cats. Fuck you. You know what I mean? You're cattle's what you are. You're red fucking meat cattle. You're not fucking Canadian lynxes or cheetahs or whatever. You got pride. You're Reese Jones Fairway pride that you don't pay a fucking cent. You pay my pimps, right? You pay my pimps the green fees, and I don't get a goddamn cent because it's solar refined, right? It's crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy. These demons, and then, well, they're trying to teach me empathy lessons. So that's another reason I gotta be just desecrated because they screwed up so bad. I gotta be desecrated to be reverent to the people that are using my IDs. Because hey, that's a proper bank, right? They stabbed me, so they're using my blood, and I'm a hostage. But I gotta be reverent to their plight. Ain't that right? It's just absolutely insane. I mean, just beyond insane. This notion of just wait. Wait. Deny till the death, like the Rainmaker. We're going to deny, and then we'll file bankruptcy. You know, well, we'll have to eat a steak. What the fuck? But we're going to deny until the death. He's dead, or, you know, bled dry. Or you took over the world. You know, since I'm still alive, you've had to really destroy the global economy. I know. I'm sorry. You're going to make, well, if I would have just committed suicide and the perfect crime, murder, so you could have buried my brainwashed family, then it'd have been all right. But hey, it just doesn't make any sense. Playboy castration sympathy play there. I got to chase that, you know. It's this whole mentality of, because they decided that they didn't want a piece of me, that everybody's, that's another funny part about these beauty cats that I'm playing with. But because they turned their back, then everybody, so I gotta wait till nobody will want me no more, because they are so goddamn special with my fucking furs from Neiman Marcus, right? I mean, what a bunch of psychotic fucking cunts. What are you talking about here? And they're fucking with daddy's little wallet gonna save them, right? Nothing you do wrong. Your fucking kids are drug addict, gambling, psychopath jackasses. I don't really give a fuck about any of them. They're fucking bad investments. They're not worth it. Make them pay their own goddamn bills for once. I mean, for Christ's sakes. Just absolutely in fucking sane.